Welcome back, everyone. This is a patron video, special exclusive video on my recording and looping setup, and this could be considered part one. In this video, I'm going to show you the equipment that I use for producing these videos, and I'm going to show you how I use the looper with my equipment to produce a video live and do live looping and have a good audio situation and be able to stream good quality audio. So I'm going to talk about some of that. I can't show you every single thing because I am live recording. I'm not live streaming, but I'm live recording right now. But I'm going to give you an overview. So first, I want to show you the units that I use to do the audio and the video, and then I'll show you a little bit about the looper, and then I will talk a little bit about the live streaming part. But you'll have to do some follow-up research on your own about that. So let's go to the view, overhead view. You know, I switch cameras in these videos, and the way I do that is by using this. So let's start with this. And I realize it's not, you know, the biggest view, but you can zoom in or do whatever you want to do to see it. And I'm just going to show you this. There's lots of videos on these things you can go see more in depth. So I'm not going to give you a whole overview. I just want to show you what I'm using. So this is called the ATEM Mini Pro ISO by Blackmagic Design. That's what it says up here. They also have the ATEM Mini, they have the ATEM Mini Pro, they have the ATEM Mini Pro ISO. So if you just look up ATEM Mini demo, there's lots of people that have done really great videos on these units. And the only thing I want to mention in this video is that I use this to switch between cameras, and I have 4 inputs down here. Right now I'm using 3 of them. These first 3 are my cameras, and the cameras are hooked up via HDMI cables. So this is camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, and then this is my computer input. I have a laptop, or you can put anything you want in there, another camera, anything on HDMI. So it can be an iPad or a computer or any other input, video player, anything that has HDMI. And then this is, what is that? That I think is an output. And then I have, this is a USB-C plug. And right now I'm recording straight to this hard drive. This is a solid state hard drive. Everything you're seeing is being recorded right onto this. I can also live stream by taking this output into my computer. So I switch this back and forth between the hard disk or the hard drive and a USB-C that goes into my computer for live streaming. This is an Ethernet cable, and I'm connected to my computer via Ethernet, and this is the power. All right, but here, look. So if I want to switch cameras, let's go to camera 3. I just press this button, and we go to camera 3. Other things I can do with this unit, I'm going to switch to camera 1 now. Here it is right here. Some of the other things I can do is I can have fades, I can have different types of transitions. I can also put picture-in-picture, which some of you have seen that. So if I hit another button up here, boom, now I've got camera 2 in picture-in-picture. And I use that especially when I'm doing ukulele videos and I put my chords, put the chording hand up there, or I do, you know, bongo videos and I can put the overhead view. So the camera number 2 is my overhead camera. Camera number 3 is my side view. So I can use it like that, and I can do picture-in-picture. And like I said, I can also control the kind of transition. So if I want to have, whoop, there we go, a weird slide transition or vertical fade. Those are a little kitschy, or you know, they make your videos look kind of dated. So I don't really use those. What I do is I just do a fade. Can I get back to the fade? Like this. I like the fade. Fade's fine, but I can also just go straight cut if I want. So let's go over to the audio side now. Go back to this. So that's what this does. This takes all of the video stuff and it takes the audio. Here's the audio in. This is a mini jack, and this is coming from another unit. I'm going to say it's coming from the mixer, but it's actually going through another thing called a direct box. Comes out of these two. This is the outputs, the main outputs on the mixer these two up here. The mixer I'm using is called a Touch Mix 8 by QSC. Can you see that? Just barely. QSC Touch Mix 8. QSC makes a series of digital mixers. This was recommended to me by a friend. It's really perfect for what I need to do. It's got 8 inputs, and 4 of them can accept 1/4-inch jacks or XLRs. XLRs are like mic plugs. The 1/4-inch is like a guitar plug. So the first 4 accept either. The later 4 accept only the XLR type. They have trim up here, which is like an amplifier going into the mixer. And then of course down here, it's got a touch screen, which is why it's called Touch Mix. So I can control, I can just reach down and quickly drag, a mixer, or I can use this knob to control volume and mixing and stuff. I don't do a lot of switching. Obviously I can mute and unmute things. Right now I'm just using one channel, this one. See, this is the only volume or trim coming in. I've got everything else turned down. This is my overhead shotgun mic. So this is the mic I'm using right now that you're hearing. It's coming in here. I've got it in the channel, in the mixer. And today, right now, I've got that going into the looper and then back into the mixer, and that's what I wanted to touch on, because some of you might have questions about miking, getting good quality microphones into the looper. This looper does accept a microphone, but you might want to have a better preamp, or you might want to add effects, or you might want to do some processing to the audio before you go into the looper, and that's what I'm doing here. But more importantly, I'm using this one mixer to go to capture my mic sound, mix it a little, put it into the looper, and then I'm going back into the same mixer, and then through the outputs into my ATEM Mini video, where it gets mixed with the video, and then it goes to my computer or hard drive, and that becomes my final product. So I want to show you how I use the mixer to send the signal to the looper, which is down here. You can't see it in the number 2 camera, but I put it in the number 3 view. So the looper's here. The sound is going in here. It's going into the mixer. And what's happening in the mixer is I'm using a thing called an auxiliary, or aux send. An aux send, and I hit this button here, this brings up the aux screen. So here's my main mix, and then this is auxiliary 1. What I'm doing is I'm capturing the input from this channel, which is channel 6, it's called shotgun, for a shotgun mic. And I am capturing that and I'm sending it out. The auxiliary 1 send. You can see this here. This is aux 1. It says aux 1 there. This is going out of there, out the back, see, here. And that is going to the input on the mixer, which I don't know if I can show you. It's going into the mixer right here. You can't really see that. If I pull this out, you can. That's going in there from the mixer. This is the input on the looper. This is the output on the looper, and I'll talk about that in a second. Well, actually, I'll talk about it right now. This is the output on the looper. It's a stereo out, and that is going to here. And I'll talk about that in a second. Here's my headphones, which I'm listening to right now. And this is a foot pedal that I'm not using. And this is the power. And that's the looper. So I'm sending the signal from the mixer to the looper, and I'm doing that through the aux 1 send. And I'm capturing it before it goes to the main mix. And this is really important. So when you have the aux send, I have an option here, and I can say assignments. Now if I want to assign it to something, I can assign it. It's automatically going to the looper right now. If I also want to send it to the main mix, I could, but the problem with that is if I hit that, you might have noticed that the sound changes a little, because it's now the sound's coming from 2 places. It's coming from the main channel strip before it goes to the looper, and it's going back into the mixer after the looper. So I don't want that. I don't want it coming in twice, because it makes it sound weird, and it could sound a little like it's phasing or something. So I have main mix off on the aux. And then it's going out, it's going into the looper down here, and then it's going out of the looper back up to here. So what is this? This is a stereo in. It's just called stereo input. And this gets routed to the main mix. And then the main mix goes out back over to here and gets mixed with the video. So I hope that all makes sense. I'm basically using the mixer for two things. I'm using it as a mic input, capturing the signal from whatever I'm doing, capturing that without sending it out of the mixer, and I'm shooting it over to the looper down here. And then I'm doing my looping, and then that gets mixed together and sent back out of the looper into a stereo mix in. And you'd use this for something like a tape player or another audio source. It's just a stereo in. So if you were, for example, if you were doing a concert, you could run like a CD player or some sound source into the mixer. And then when you're done doing, you know, the band, I'll say this is the band over here, and you want to have intermission and you want to have some music playing, you could hook it up here, for example. Okay, so I hope that all makes sense. I think I'll wrap up this video because there's not really much else that I can do right now. I could show you how I do looping, but I've shown you that in another video. But I wanted to show you the equipment in this video. Now, what happens to the signal that comes out of the video? If you're doing live streaming, you need to have some device to capture your video and audio and put that into your computer and then have that readable, have that streamable. And what the A10 Mini does, this device that I have, this Blackmagic device, is it takes all the signal, all the video, and it squeezes it down into a compressed form or format with this device and also with the software in my computer. But it doesn't need, I don't need to do much in the computer. All I need to do is send the signal from this hardware into my computer, and then it can go straight online. It's basically already in a good streamable format, and I can control the density. I can have it be a higher quality, bigger file, streaming file. You know, it can be on the higher end. If I have good bandwidth, I can try to push more quality out. Or if I don't have great internet connection and I don't want to have a lot of, and I feel like if I'm trying to put video and audio out in a stream, it might be too much for my connection, I can lower the bandwidth. It will lower the quality a little bit, but not a whole lot. It's a little noticeable, but it'll make it way less, it'll make the file much smaller, or the stream bit rate lower, which will make it easier to have the video and audio smooth. So these are the kind of considerations that you have when you're looking at live streaming or streaming. I think all streaming is live streaming pretty much. So if you want to stream, which means you're going directly, in my case, going directly through or onto YouTube, and that video gets streamed and recorded, right, in YouTube, then those are some considerations. The last live stream I did, and I hadn't changed my settings from the previous time, but the last one I did, I ran into some streaming issues, or at least the computer said, or YouTube said, your stream is getting caught up a little bit. It's a little too much information going out, or basically what that means is my internet provider speed, my internet speed was not enough, wasn't keeping up. That's not anything to do with this equipment. That's just to do with my not so great internet, which should be great because I'm paying, you know, a monthly service fee for great internet, but it's just not performing up to the level. All right, so there are some considerations when you want to decide what kind of streaming, but that's another topic for another day. I just wanted to let you know that's how I'm doing it now, and I made these purchases so I can be more productive. I can spend less time editing videos because it was very labor intensive, and I think any of you who have made a video, if you make a video and you put graphics up and you have different camera angles and you want to, you know, master the audio, you want to get the best audio you can, it's all very time consuming, and it takes a lot of different skill sets to do that. So I decided that I wanted to spend less time after I make a video in front of my computer, sitting on my computer editing, and more time in front of the camera making videos. And I can just do that with this live switcher because I can obviously, boom, I can switch the cameras. I can switch to whatever I want. I can even have a graphic or whatever. And once I'm done shooting this, I'm not going to do any editing. You know, this is the thing. I mean, and that's a skill set in and of itself. You know, you have to work, if you're going to do what I'm doing now, which is essentially recording live and then just uploading the file. If you want to get to the point where you can do that, you probably need to practice your presentation skills. After I've done, you know, 1,000 videos, and I've done more than 1,000 videos myself, I'm pretty good at winging it, you know, just speaking and going through and teaching. And that's what I've been doing. And some of my videos have little mistakes in them, and that's fine. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be good. It needs to be useful. So I'm willing to put up with, you know, me making a few little mistakes and just leaving them in the videos because honestly, I don't think anybody really minds that. But it allows me to be a lot more productive because I can, like this video, I can shoot the video and then it's ready to go. Instead of shooting the video and then having to edit the video, which often takes more time, actually 2 to 3 times more time to edit the video than it did to shoot the video. So it's a lot of time. So in this way, I have a lot more time to shoot, and I'm making videos for World Drum Club, I'm making them for Native Flutes, I'm making them for my Ukulele Club channel, I'm making videos for other things and other people, other projects, so it just allows me to be a lot more productive. So I hope this has been useful for you. If you have any questions, you know, you can message me. I wouldn't type questions below the video in the comments because I don't always see them. But I do want to thank you guys for being patrons of the channel, of course, and supporting this work. And this is a result of our teamwork together. You know, with your support, I can buy equipment like this, invest in the channel, invest in what I'm doing, and deliver you all more of what you can use and find useful for yourself. And that's the main goal of all this. All right, so thanks a lot, and don't leave your questions. Send me your questions, and I'll do my best to respond to them. Thanks a lot. Fade to black.